Okay, if you're a content creator, you've probably felt it lately. This, well, seismic shift happening over on TikTok. It feels like one day you're going viral and the next you're talking to an empty room. So we're going to break down what's really going on behind the scenes with the new ownership and really dig into what it means for your content, your data, and honestly, your future.
And this quote, this really says it all. This is from creator Jessica Burbank, and it just sums up the panic so many people are feeling. Imagine having nearly 600,000 followers, but suddenly your videos are getting 0 views. And you know what? She is not alone. This is the new reality for a ton of creators right after the platform's big sale. So what on earth is behind this sudden content blackout? To really get to the bottom of this chaos, we've got to look at the huge shakeup that put TikTok's US operations under completely new management. Because the fallout from that deal was immediate. And for a lot of creators, it was absolutely catastrophic. All right, just take a look at this. This is creator Brian Crescenstein. The guy had a huge following. His videos would regularly pull in millions of views. This right here. This is a pinned video with 4.1 million views. You know, pretty much business as usual for a creator his size, before the sale.
And this is after. Same creator, same audience, but his new videos, they're getting under 1,000 views. Some of them are getting 0. He and a whole lot of others started reporting that any kind of political or news-related content was being, in his own words, completely throttled. It's like it was being choked off from ever reaching his audience. This wasn't some slow decline. It was like a switch just got flipped overnight.
So here's the deal, and this is the crucial part. TikTok's US business was sold to this new company called TikTok USDS Joint Venture LLC. Now, the investors behind it, they include some major players like Larry Ellison of Oracle, who has known ties to Donald Trump. The official story for the sale was that it was all about securing US user data. But the immediate result that creators saw was this huge wave of what they call shadow banning, where your content just gets hidden from people without you ever knowing, and, well, straight up censorship, especially when it came to political content that was critical of the establishment. And listen, the changes didn't stop with the algorithm. Of course not. New owners means new rules. Every single user who wanted to keep using the app had to agree to new terms of service. And, you know, buried deep in all that legal text are some truly mind-boggling changes about who actually controls your content. This quote from a top music attorney, wow, it just nails TikTok's strategy here. She basically describes it as the platform knowing it's so big, so essential for getting discovered, that it can literally tell you to your face that it's taking all these rights to your work, betting that you, the creator, just don't have any other choice but to agree. And here's exactly what you're agreeing to. When you upload a video, you're giving TikTok a license that is permanent. That means forever. You can't take it back. It's worldwide, it's royalty-free, so forget about getting paid for it. And here are the really important words: sublicensable and assignable. What does that mean? It means they can give the rights to your content to other companies and they don't even have to ask you.
Let's break that down just a little bit more because it's pretty wild. By agreeing to the terms, you've given the new TikTok the right to copy and share your videos anywhere they want. You've given them the right to remix them or make totally new things out of them. They can use your face, your music, your art in their own paid advertisements. And yep, they can use every single thing you upload to train their AI models. And you get nothing. No permission asked, no credit, no payment.
But wait, it doesn't even stop with your content. The new privacy policy goes even deeper. It seriously expands the kind of personal, really sensitive data that the platform can now legally collect from you. And we're not talking about small tweaks here, okay? The updated policy brought in over 10 new categories of data that TikTok can collect. And once you see what's on that list, well, you start to understand why privacy experts are basically sounding the alarm.
I mean, just look at this list. This is information that's explicitly laid out in the new privacy policy. This includes some of the most private details about a person's life: your sexual orientation, your health diagnoses, your immigration status, your religious beliefs, even your precise physical location.
And here's where it all connects. The policy says that this deeply personal information can be shared to comply with the law, including responding to government inquiries. So when you put that clause together with a new ownership group that has really strong political ties, it raises some pretty serious questions for users about how this data could end up being used. So yeah, the whole situation, it sounds pretty bleak, I know. But in the middle of all this uncertainty, there's a different idea that's starting to pick up steam. The idea of moving away from a rented space and onto a stage that you actually truly own. This slide just lays out the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got the rented space of social media. You're totally at the mercy of the algorithm's whims, you're dealing with shadow bans, and at the end of the day, the platform owns the connection to your audience. But on the right, that's the owned stage. That's your own website, your rules, your own direct line to your fans. This quote from the media platform builder Crescendo Cast, it just gets right to the heart of the whole problem. It's a call to action. It's telling creators, hey, you need to fix this fundamental imbalance of power where you're the one creating all the value, but the platform is holding all the control. So what does this whole owned stage thing actually look like? Well, it's what's known as a direct-to-fan platform. Think of it like your own personal Netflix or your own Spotify. It's a media hub on your own domain with your own branding where you are the one in charge. No algorithm can silence you there. And getting your own platform is becoming a lot simpler than you might think. Using a service like Crescendo Cast as an example, it's basically a 3-step process. A creator applies, the service builds out all the technical stuff and slaps your branding on it, and then they just hand you the keys. You get admin access to your own media hub. It's that straightforward. And look, this isn't some abstract, crazy expensive idea anymore. This table shows real pricing for a service that actually does this. For a one-time build fee, you can get a fully licensed and branded platform. The key thing to see here is that you're investing in an asset that you control, instead of just pouring all your amazing content into a platform you don't. All of this, everything we've talked about, it brings every single content creator to a critical crossroads. The game has changed, and the old way of thinking, well, it might not be enough to build a real, sustainable career anymore. This right here, this is the fundamental trade-off. On one hand, you've got the borrowed reach of a massive platform like TikTok. And yeah, the potential to go viral is huge, but it's completely unpredictable, and it can be taken away from you in a flash. On the other hand, you have the owned security of your own platform. It's a stable foundation where you control the relationship with your audience. When it all comes down to it, this whole alternative model boils down to these 3 incredibly powerful things. Your domain, which no one can take away from you, your branding, which builds your unique identity, and most importantly, your audience, a direct connection that isn't being managed or controlled by some third-party algorithm. And so that leaves us with this one last really crucial question. In this new era, with all this platform instability and these really questionable terms of service, is just having a link in bio that points to other rented spaces, is that really a long-term strategy? Or is it maybe time for creators to start building a home of their own?